Good morning, guys, and welcome to another edition of the First Family of Las Vegas' daily free winner show, brought to you by the best website on the planet, your one-stop sports betting shop, SportsMemo. You know how I start every show. Good morning, Dionne.
Good morning. Happy Thursday.
Happy Thursday. Now, guys, as you know, we were supposed to throw some beautiful filet mignon on the grill yesterday.
We were.
And, I may be very sexy and very cute. That's an old rap song. But I got to tell you, I got tired yesterday. So after we did the second show, I laid my head down. Next thing I know, it was 5 p.m. I said, guys, no barbecue tonight. Went right back to bed, woke up at 2 a.m.
So today is going to be steak day.
So today's going to be filet mignon day. We're very, very happy. We've got some great shrimp, though, and tomorrow's shrimp scampi day. We don't do meat on Fridays. We're old school Catholics. Having said that, two quick announcements before we go into our things. I'm very excited about today.
Oh, yeah.
Today's my first day back. As you guys know, I'm a 3-time Gold Glove winner. I was a karate champion as well. But I'm going back into my boxing training, and I'm going to be training with a very famous person you guys may know as Pain Train, Dave Mazzoni. He owns 9 Round. I'll be over at 9 Round today and every day, probably about 3 o'clock. I'm very excited to go back to boom, boom. You like that? So Pain Train and me going to be going at it today. I'll be in the ring, see how out of shape I am. I do have another thing to say, guys. Over the last few weeks, I haven't lost too many games in any sport. And I think over the last 7 or 8 days, I lost 1 game. Yesterday, I put out 2 free plays and a paid game. Guys, let me just put it this way. If my picks were a baseball team, they would have been the Los Angeles Angels. I did what we call, very technical term in this business, I pooped the bed. I lost the Warriors last night. I really thought they'd come back and take it. Hats off to the Celtics and to the few cappers out there that had the Celtics. I know a lot of guys had the Warriors. And my free plays went down after winning. I think I dropped like 1 free play in out of 10. I've been on a run. But very transparent about that, because you've got to be transparent about those losses. I took a loss yesterday. I know I'm still 10-1 this year on 10% plays. Mm-hmm. And the last 7 NBA plays, I'm 6-1 5. 6-2 now in 5 and 10% plays. But we're doing the best we can. I'll get that money back for anybody that followed me last night. I promise you that. So without any further ado, Dionne?
Yes.
I want everybody to tune in to the Full Count show later on today. That's the SportsMemo MLB betting coverage show coming to you live 12 p.m. Eastern. Excuse me, I did that twice in 2 days. 12 p.m. Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern. As my good buddy, you're going to see him in a moment, the hardest working man in sports betting, the James Brown of sports betting, John Ryan. He's going to be hosting. Joining him, Jesse Shule and Eric Pauly. So tune into that before you make any of your Thursday MLB betting decisions. Dan has a discount, and then we're going to bring on our guests. We've got 5 big free plays for you today. 5 of the best cappers in the world. Let's take it away, Dia.
Yes, Joey and I still have that amazing discount going on right now. 7 days, all sports inclusive for either one of us. Just $59. All you have to do is use code SWEEP7 upon checkout.
Sports fans, we've got a great show. Joining us today, let's bring on this good-looking panel. John Ryan, Dr. Chuck, Ronald, Cabang. Guys, the 5 of us together, I want to tell you, there's the only lineup I've ever seen as deadly as this was the 27 Yankees Murderers Row, where one batter was better than the previous. And I got to tell you, this is a great lineup. John Ryan, Dr. Chuck, Ronald Cabang, good morning. I love it. John is
Good morning. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning, everybody. How's everybody doing today? All right?
Doing great, Joe.
Love to have you.
Great. We're with you and we're with your wife on your show. It's the best thing we can do.
I love you, John. John, you are one of the hardest working people I've ever seen, let alone in this business. I do, for a year now, every time I talk about you, I say you're the James Brown of sports betting, and you bust your butt. You've got, me and you split the hats of the hosting the MLB show a couple of days a week, but you also have another show you're doing. Can we talk about that real quick?
Yeah, sure. We're doing the NBA triple-double with Ronald Cabang, who's sitting right below me. And, the guests that come on the shows that we host are also very hardworking guys. Ronald's on with me every single day, Monday through Friday, and he has not missed. So that, that's impressive in itself.
Well, I will tell you this, John. If you're the James Brown of sports betting, Ronald Cabang is either the Steve Harvey or the Ryan Seacrest of sports betting. or the Michael Strahan. Every time you turn on the TV, one of those 3 guys is doing a show. Dr. Chuck works pretty hard as well, and I give him a lot of credit. It's not easy. John, My son is grown out of the house. I know you've got kids. They're a little bit older. Ronald's got little ones. Dr. Chuck, he's like the guy that lives in the shoe. He's got like 19 children. That's a reality show. But no, Dr. Chuck, it's not easy, sports fans. What we do, it's not just that we look at a game, go, oh, I like this game. We do it. We do a lot of due diligence. And every capper has a different way that they do their games. You got to look at numbers, injuries, weather conditions for the outdoor sports. You got to look at line movements. Everything takes. Then you've got to look at trends and streaks, read into a game, look at pitching, look at this. It doesn't end. Then we have to actually write our analysis on these games, get them out to you. Then we have to look pretty. And I got to tell you, though, there's some guys in this industry, it takes them a lot longer to look pretty than this panel here today. We got a good-looking panel. But there's a lot of due diligence. And our son, he's a United States Marine. He's grown. He's out of the house. We have a luxury that some of the other guys that you see even on this panel don't have. Dr. Chuck and Ronald Cabang. I know Ronald's got to get going soon. He's got to take his kids to school. But, a lot goes into this, guys. It's not just like we do the genie blink and we pick a game. A lot goes into this.
It was that easy.
John Ryan, one of the hardest working guys I've seen. Ronald bust his butt. And Dr. Chuck, my hat's off to you. Without any further ado, we have some great free plays for today's action for everyone out there. So let's go to our first guest, Mr. Cabang himself, Ronald Cabang. He's going to tell you what he's got going on the premium side, and he's going to give you another free winner. Ronald, take it away.
Yeah, on a premium side, I'm probably going to have one MLB play today, and also I'm already looking ahead to the NBA finals tomorrow. I luckily had the Celtics first quarter, first half yesterday. Unluckily had the under. They went off. Both teams went off yesterday. So 2-1 in the NBA. We hit the free play. I was on the MLB show with you yesterday, Joe, and hit the Padres with a convincing win there. So today I'm going back to the MLB. There's not much else to go off of, but I'm looking at these Rockies and Giants here. We got Austin Gomber on the mound for the Rockies, sporting a 6.54 ERA. He's given up 17 runs in his last two starts, in which he just pitched 6 1/3 innings. So from a service level, people are running to the over here, but I think that's too quick to judge here. After two bad starts prior to those two games, he gave up only 2 runs in 7 innings and to one of the best hitting teams in the majors versus the Mets. His FIP is about 2 runs under his current ERA. So I'm thinking we see a little bit of a positive regression here for Gomber. For the Giants here, we have Logan Webb. He got rocked a little bit in his last start, 4 earned runs in 4 2/3 innings. He'd even reach 5. He's one of those pitchers, though. You don't typically see him go back-to-back non-quality starts. From a batting standpoint, the Rockies, they don't hit well on the road against starting right-handed pitchers, just around 2.7 runs per game in those situations. The Giants don't hit for average at home against starting lefties, as well as they do against righties. So if Gomber can limit the home run ball here, this should stay under the current total of 8. It's just interesting to know you see a low number here with such high ERA combination between these two starting pitchers, and I think it's for good reason. I would like to take the under 8 runs here in the Rockies versus Giants.
Ronald Cabang, who did have a good night last night with the NBA games. Congratulations, Ronald. But you're no stranger to being on the Sports Memo leaderboards. Sports fans, go over to Sports Memo after the show. Use these great customer appreciation discounts that only Sports Memo offers. Follow Ronald Cabang. Now, Ronald, I know you have to leave. You're busy. You got to take the kids to school and get all your games up. I know you got to take off. Any closing words for everybody out there?
No, well, just, I think John and Ryan and I have a NBA triple-double show later today. I have my show, Let's Cap, later. I believe I'll be having Jay Money on the show. And I'm really excited to actually to talk about my show tomorrow, Joe. It's called Capper University. I'm actually going to have a sportsbook manager on with me for about 20 minutes from Circa. And he's going to be talking about line movements, ticket, and money percentages. And it's just one thing that, I want to provide information to these sports bettors, because we hear a lot about cappers talk about, it's fading the public because there's 80% of the money on this side versus 20% on this side. I just want to kind of do some myth busting here. Is it true? Are we actually fading the public, or are there sharps on that side? It's just little things that I want to share with the community here.
That's great stuff, and I'll be tuning in. Now, I had a CBS radio show that we did for, 3-4 years, and every week I had one of the different sportsbook directors on, guys that are a little more – I got some flamboyant guys, Jimmy Vaccaro, Jay Cornegie, and it's very, to everybody out there, you touched on a good point. just because most of the money, where is the sharp money going? Well, hey, hold on a minute. The big money's going here, but the line hasn't moved a lot. Why is that? And it's great that you could give the sports bettors out there, as well as some of the sports handicappers who just love to soak up information, an inside view of that. Yes, Dan.
Well, we also have Jay Cornegie every week during the NFL show that we did for SportsMemo. He also
Jay Cornegie and the crew over at the Westgate, they give us all where the smart money moves are going in college and pro football. But that's great information for you guys out there. Tune in. Capper University, you said tomorrow?
Yeah, tomorrow around, I think it's 12:30.
Is that your inaugural show?
That's the first Capper University show, yeah.
Guys, tune in. I'm going to be tuning in. Ronald's got to take off. You're going to see him on the triple-double later with John today. Let's go right from Ronald, who has a hit song with Cabang, to the sexiest person on the panel. No, it's not me. I'm not that vain. We're going to go to the First Lady of Las Vegas, who, by the way, #1 WNBA Sports Memo. Very happy, proud of her. Dionne, you got some great things happening on the premium side tonight, and I know you got another free winner. Take it away, baby doll.
All right. So over the last 3 weeks, I'm hitting 60% with my MLB totals. Today, I have my MLB total of the week for just $10 right now over at Sports Memo. And as Joey did mention, I am 2-0 in WNBA since starting 2 days ago. So make sure you visit the site over at Sports Memo for more winning WNBA releases from me.
Now, there's no WNBA today?
There is no WNBA today, but there is, I believe, 5 games on the board for tomorrow. So make sure you stop by the site tomorrow to see what I have going on.
I'm your hubby. I love you. I've been with you 23 years. Can you let me behind the curtain? Anything that you like already for tomorrow today?
To be honest with you, I have not even looked yet.
Okay. I love the honesty. And I love the way she looks. I love the peacock. Very, very
cute.
Very like South Boston. I love it. I like it.
But I'm not from Boston, baby.
No, I know where you're from. It doesn't matter. After being with me for 23 years, you're a New Yorker now. All right. Dionne, can you tell everybody your free play today,
Absolutely. Please? So don't look now, but the A's are trying their best to be the worst team in the AL league right now. I'm sorry. They are on an 8-game losing streak, sinking their record to 20-38 as they dwell in the AL West cellar, 16.5 games back. Guys, I am well aware of the fact that they have won the last 8 meetings at Progressive Field. However, that streak ran through last season. And these are 2 very different teams this season. Cleveland is starting to heat up, winning 7 of the last 9 games. The A's and their 29th ranked offense are in way over their heads here today, as the Guardians' bats accounted for almost a full run and a half more per game. But it's the pitching matchup that compels me to side with the Cleveland here today. Scheduled starters are Caprillion and Pilkington. The A starter is 0-3 with a 6.06 ERA on the campaign, and he in his sole appearance against the Guardians took a beating in the season opener. Guardians rookie hurler has looked pretty good, going 1-0 with a 2.65 ERA, and in 17 innings pitched, he has 23 strikeouts. Cleveland is 5-1 the last 5. Cleveland is 5-1 the last 6 at home, 5-1 the last 6 versus right-handed starters, and 5-1 the last 6 during game 1 of the series. So go ahead and take the Guardians on the run line.
First Lady of Vegas is take the Guardians on the run line, and you have how many plays tonight up?
I have 1 play up today. I have my MLB total of the week for just $10.
Go over to Sports Memo right after the show. Dionne, your analysis is really, really sharp. You said something that should strike a nerve with everybody out there. Mm-hmm. Trends and streaks, and I put stock in trends and streaks.
I do too.
To confirm something I already like, but it's particularly in baseball. To me, it's the trendiest, the streakiest of all sports. However, you said something. They won 8 in a row at Progressive Field, but that was through last season. These are 2 very different teams. So there is something to be said about trends and streaks, but look at the situation surrounding those trends and streaks. So having said that, guys, I know a lot of you out there are sick. You're sick of losing.
They need a doctor.
And you need the doctor. And we've got the doctor, the Surgeon General of sports betting is in the house, Dr. Chuck. And we love having him here. He's on the First Family Show earlier this week. He's doing great work over at SportsMemo. Let him tell you about what he's got going on tonight on the premium side. And let him tell you another free winner. Dr. Chuck, take it away, buddy.
I'm so glad to be back, guys. Yeah, we had a good day with our plays the other day, coming back after the rain outs. But I already have some plays up. Thursday's a great day because you're not always going to get a full slate, but you're going to get a full day of baseball, which helps because, there, as you mentioned, there's no NBA, WNBA. So, it's a lot less stuff going on, but we already have plays starting at noon all the way till tonight. Check us out. We have a play in that Reds game. So if you want to hop on All Access right now, the deal is amazing. You get all my plays now through All-Star break, normally over $200. It's $99. So check that out. We're 16-6 just this week in baseball. Yes, it's high volume, but it's gone well. And we had our 10-unit win on Monday. Tonight, I am looking, you guys are excited. I'm looking at the most popular game on the slate tonight. As the Baltimore Orioles are visiting wonderful Kansas City. Hopefully they're going to get some ribs and make a worthwhile stay here. But they're coming off of a rainout rest day. Really good against left-handed hitting, one of the top 5 teams in the slash just in June against left-handed hitting. It's kind of an underrated lineup. But we're looking more at what I commonly do. It's a Lyles versus Chris Bubik matchup. And so I'm on the Orioles in the full game. I'm on the Orioles in the first 5. Jordan Lyles, if you take out a couple of those bad starts earlier in April, has been really solid. Has an FIP almost a full 1.5 lower than his ERA. And the Kansas City lineup has a couple of really nasty things going for it. So I could probably put this play out and have said nothing other than give me the team against the team that's barely favored that just hammered the Blue Jays. So I talk a lot about fade, like Ronald was talking about, fade the public or fade the bag. Why is a team that just hammered, even if it was Kikuchi, respect to Ski Profit and his fade monster, they hammered the Jays, and the Jays are, like Joe talked about it earlier, they're competing with the Yankees as the best lineup out there. They're hitting everything. They couldn't do anything yesterday. The Royals hammered them. They didn't see the Orioles play. The Royals are at home and they're barely favored. It's a -105 on each side right now. Find your best line. Chris Bubik is a disaster. Unfortunately, his FIP is almost 8, and that's what we focus on. But even more so, his chase rate is almost 20%. And you need to be in the 30s to be decent, but his swing and miss rate is less than 5%. So Orioles making contact is trouble, even in a park like Kansas City that yields the least amount of runs on the year, even less than Comerica, less than in San Diego. But the Royals, just to finish this off of a win, no matter if it was a popular win or not, are 4-13 this season. So, that's the kind of stat you'd be worried about if you were laying 150. We're not. We're getting even money here, and I just think it's silly.
Great breakdown from the doctor of sports betting, Dr. Chuck. Doc, man, you're doing some great work over at SportsMemo. Guys, go over to SportsMemo. Use some of these great customer appreciation discounts. Follow Dr. Chuck. He's going to stick around for a minute till the end of the show. Guys, I got to tell you, this is a great lineup, but with every great lineup, there can only be one cleanup hitter. And batting cleanup today, man. He's going to clear those bases, Mr. John Ryan, the hottest record man in sports betting. Guys, John Ryan has some things he wants to tell you about on the premium side tonight, and he's got another free winner for you. John, take it away.
Thanks as always, Joe and Dionne, for being on the show here. I do have a 12:35 game. I hope I'm on the same side as Dr. Chuck, but baseball's been running pretty good here of late. 6 consecutive days of the packages making money, looking to make it 7 in a row, kind of like those Philadelphia Phillies and the Atlanta Braves are doing right now, and not like those Los Angeles Angels, which is mind-blowing. But NBA, I lost a 5%er last night. I think all the pros were on the Warriors, and that was disappointing, but we're still hitting 71% for the last calendar year in 5% and 10% max bets, which isn't too bad. So I can't get too upset about one loss, but like you say, Joe, be 100% transparent. And if you are, you don't have to worry about haters on the Twitter feed or any nonsense like that. Yeah. At least that's my theory.
There you go.
But let's see, I'm going to have WNBA up today, and the opening night for CFL is tonight. Hard to believe, but I do have a play from my models, which surprised me, but I go with the models because they're a lot smarter than I am. Anyway, I'm looking at the New York Yankees here on the road against the Minnesota Twins, 2 divisional leaders right now. We all know that the Yankees are literally destroying everybody, and the Minnesota Twins are a division leader. The Dodgers are also destroying everybody. And the Dodgers and the Yankees, the only two teams right now outscoring their opponents by a total of 100 or more runs. The Dodgers 112, Yankees 101 runs. I'm going to come back to that simple accomplishment because it works against these guys now in the month of June. So the month of June is very important because you have to basically destroy your opponents in baseball to be outscoring them by 100 or more runs by this point of the season. There'll be a lot more teams when we get into September that have outscored their opponents by that many. But to do it this quickly, regression is the word. So all 3 games in this series I have played on Minnesota. Game 1 didn't work out so good. Last night, they got to Cortez, and he gave up the most earned runs this season. Still only 4 earned runs, but it was an 8-1 cruise victory for the Minnesota Twins. This matchup I like even more because Garrett Cole is on the hill, and the line gets inflated, not just because it's the Yankees, but now we have the Yankees and Garrett Cole, who, sometimes I think the public thinks he strikes out every single batter he would ever face, except if he faced Joe D'Amico, who would take him for, take him yard for sure. But Garrett Cole is 2.57 his last 3 starts, incredibly consistent. I can't say enough good things about him, except that this is a horrible situation for him to be in from the analytical standpoint. He's going up against Dylan Bundy, who, people say right away, oh, the Yankees are going to kill this guy. And they might. But I can tell you this right now. I'm just going to look at my database over here. Teams in the month of June that are a road favorite of any kind and outscored their opponents by 100 or more runs. The Yankees, 62 and.
It's all right.
The problem is that you had to bet minus 170 on each one of those games. If you would have done that, you would have lost $3,000 per $100 bet over the last 5 seasons. If you fade these guys, you would make $2,800. Wow. The difference in the juice, of course, minus 170, you probably average 155 on the dog line. So you're basically betting on home dogs of any kind, but especially if they're 150 and higher, because the record gets even more impressive. The rate of return on a home dog, plain home dog, is 18% ROI. If it's a 150 home dog with a winning record, it explodes to 60% ROI. So this is a tremendous opportunity. This is actually a 4% premium bet. It's an example of the type of research I provide and the tip of the iceberg, really. But I do like this matchup because it absolutely makes no sense to take the Twins. It doesn't. It just feels awful to take them. And honestly, when it feels awful like this, it is the direct opposite of last night's game with Golden State, where I was very confident they were going to take control of that game. And when Curry hit the shot to give them the lead after trailing the whole game since 2-0, I thought, it's just like watching Tom Brady. Now he's in control. The game is over. Well, how wrong could I have been? But I think in this situation, and I'm going to be tracking this in digital content, this system with the Dodgers and the Yankees, and if anybody else gets over 100 runs over the rest of the month of June to show the results of how successful this thing is, I think everybody will be glad to see that. So for this day only, we are on the Twins using the run line, but I wouldn't mind sprinkling a little bit on the money line because I think the Twins are going to win the game.
Sports fans, the best technical analyst in the business, John Ryan, says Twins plus +1.5, and maybe sprinkle a little something on them straight up. John's going to stick around to the end of the show, guys. But right after the show, go over SportsMemo. Go follow John Ryan. Whether it's a day, a week, or a month, you're going to make money, and he's going to make a believer out of you. You'll come back for more. John's going to stick around. Let's time now. Turn down the volume on your tablet, your PC, your phone, because I'm excited today. I'm so excited. Dr. Chuck didn't even have to prescribe me a darn Viagra. That's how excited I am. My friends, get ready to get paid today. That's right. I have another big baseball winner for you in my coveted MLB best bet play. My best bets have won 3 straight. Over the years, they've done nothing but put money in your pocket. They're exactly what they sound like, the best bet on the baseball board. I have it posted right now, SportsMemo, for just $10. Let's go to my MLB free play. Let's go to the National League Diamond for today's free play. The Atlanta Braves are the hottest team in the NL right now. Winners of 7 straight. The Braves have climbed to 7 games back of the Mets in the NL East. With the All-Star break just around the corner, New York better watch out for Atlanta. I'm telling you this, folks. I can tell you that. Pittsburgh, guys, they showed some signs of life about a week and a half ago, sweeping Los Angeles in LA. But since then, what happened? They come back down to earth, dropping 3 of 5, including their last 2. With the combination of the league's 28th ranked scoring offense and its 24th ranked pitching staff, the Pirates are in real trouble here today. Atlanta's numbers are considerably, let me try that again, considerably better. Oh, my God, I'm so excited. Considerably better. And they are winning games with a combination of explosive hitting and very good pitching. During their current 7-game hot streak, they've outscored opponents by a combined score 52-20. Granted, their 3 opponents were the Diamondbacks, the Rockies, and the A's. But let's be honest, the Pirates are in the same category as those 3 teams. JT Brubaker, awful. 0-5 with a 4.70. Max Fried, 5-2 with a 2.74. On the campaign, there's no comparing these 2 at all, folks. Adding insult to injury, Pittsburgh, 1-9 the last 10 meetings in Atlanta and 3-8 the last overall 11 meetings with Atlanta. The only way to go in this game is taking the Braves on the run line, my friends. Take it, and you're going to take it all the way to the bank. Braves run line. Let's bring everybody back on. We know Ronald had to take off. Before we run down today's 3 plays, let me get some closing thoughts. Anything John Ryan would like to tell our viewers out there? John.
I think I need to say one thing. Dr. Chuck is coming up on 2,000 followers on Twitter, and I'm a little disappointed with the crowd following. And even with my followers, I think we need to make a concerted effort to follow somebody that's certainly worth following. He should have about 10,000 followers, but he's around 1,900 and change. And I think by the end of the weekend, he should be well over 2,000 because he deserves it.
Sports fans, go follow Dr. Chuck at Dr. Chuck Sports. That was nicely said, John. That's and that's the integrity and the respect you get from a guy in a class by himself like John Ryan. He could have tooted his own horn. He asked you to go follow the doctor. Doctor, any closing thoughts or comments?
Well, no, I mean, I just love how John comes at just returning the favor. I love how John comes at the SDQL and stuff like that. But I wanted to comment last night on just, Ronald mentioned it. He got the Celtics first half. That's all I was willing to go with as well, because I felt like you don't want to mess with the Warriors in the third quarter, which is exactly what John was looking at. But to that, for those of you that had that game last night, you just want, probably if you didn't watch, which I know Joe and Dionne are more apt to not watch, you got to think, holy cow, like Ron, I feel for him because I personally bet the under as well. But to lose an under with 34 points in the fourth quarter has got to make you want to just throw up. And so homage to those who don't watch and don't think, wow, with 5 minutes left, I lost the bet and they didn't score again. Like, I mean, that's pretty hardcore. And then I'm really bummed that this is the one time in the finals that there's only one day in between, because if Steph's not able to go tomorrow and the Celtics do win, it's basically over. And, no matter if it's 3-1 or not, but I don't, dynasties or not, I just hate that the Warriors lost last one because of injury. And if this has happened, they're going to lose this one because of injury. And I mean, they'd have as many as Brady by now. So I hate that. I just want them to be healthy, and I want to see the basketball we saw in the first 2.5 games, and it just bums me out. But I hope they have the trainers that, bring in all the trainers that are possible and make his foot work for 4 more games.
There you go. Dr. Chuck, I will tell you, I don't shave my head because I like the look. I shave it because it started getting a little thin. If I watch games, I probably wouldn't even have eyebrows left.
Yeah,
that's how stressful it is for me. I'm not a game watcher. I watch big games. I watch Monday Night Football. I'll watch certain games in certain situations. And if I know there's a big game coming up with a certain matchup, I will watch the game preceding it, see how a team is playing, things like that. But one
other thing I want to say about all of us, and I'm not as much maybe, but John for sure. If you do follow us on Twitter, I do a lot of this. John does more live betting and publicly live betting than I do. A lot of the personal betting I do is live. We can't put that out, which stresses me out a little bit, but we can't put that out. But if you saw the Celtics score 70 points in the first half and you didn't just back up the Brinks truck on the under at that point, I mean, it was kind of obvious. And I don't know if it ever got to 240, but I mean, think this, the full game almost won. And so live betting is just the most lucrative thing in the entire world.
One thing I will tell you, and I have a few friends that are serious about live betting. One of them is a pioneer in this industry, Jim Feist. I speak to Jim regularly. I broke into this business 32 years ago working with him in his sales room. Jim, I mean, Jim is in a class by himself. I mean, when you talk about, I got money, but Jim's got crazy money. But he bets a lot of in-game. But he watches every single minute of every single game do that. So you've got to really, really, you've got to do your due diligence there, man. You've got to dedicate time, effort, and uncompromised time. You can't be distracted by anything. You need to know everything that's going on. But Jim does that, and that's why he's one of the best. But I will tell you guys this. We've had a great show today. Let's run down the games real quick before we do a few announcements. Ronald, who had to take off, he went to the buffet. He's not going. He didn't drop his kids off. He went to the buffet over there. Anyway, Ronald had the Rockies Giants under 8. Dionne, what did you have?
I'm going with the Guardians on the run line.
Dr. Chuck.
The O's.
John Ryan. He had the Twins plus the 1.5. There you go. He's being quiet today. I love John Ryan. And Joey D, your sexy and savory host, had the Braves on the run line. Sports fans, we would love it if you tuned in later today to Full Count, SportsMemo's MLB betting coverage show. It comes to you live, 12 p.m. Pacific,
That's right.
3 p.m. Eastern. John Ryan is going to be hosting. Joining him, Jesse Schul, Eric Pauly. Tune into that before you make any of your MLB betting decisions for Thursday. Also, guys, go to the SportsMemo YouTube channel. Tons of great content. John, like I said, one of the hardest working guys in the business. Ross Benjamin does some stuff. We do this show. I also split hats with John, hosting hats for the MLB coverage show. Also, go to SportsMemo's Twitter page. I'm telling you now, the best collection of cappers are at SportsMemo. We each post a lot of free stuff there. You get futures, you get odds, you get great columns by Eric Pauly. Also, follow Ronald at @U_capper. Follow at John Ryan Sports 1. Follow Dr. Chuck at Dr. Chuck Sports. Dionne, what's your Twitter?
You can find me over at the First Lady of Vegas, and you can find Joey over at Joe D'Amico Wins.
There you go. Another show in the books. We're one step closer to the weekend. Dionne, take us out of here, please.
That's right. And don't forget to head on over to the site after the show and pick up that huge discount that Joey and I have. 7 days, all sports, all access. Sweep 7 upon checkout. $59 for 7 days from either one of us. And don't forget to tune in tomorrow for some more special guests and free winners. On behalf of Sports Memo, Ronald, John, Chuck, and us, this is the First Family of Vegas.
Everyone out there, good luck and have a winning day.